Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Beautiful. My name is Archana, and if you're new to my channel or haven't subscribed to my channel already, please go ahead and do that right now, and then let's get into the video. So today I am testing out this Blue Heaven signature eyeshadow palette. This is in number 05. So I really liked the shades that were in this palette, and I have recently bought this off of Nykaa. You must have seen this in my haul video, and if you haven't, I'll just link it down below so you can just see what all things I got from Nykaa. So this was one of the palettes. This has beautiful matte shades. So this has 6 shades in it. They are all matte and they look like beautiful shades. I'll just swatch them for you. I don't know if they have shade names here. There are no shade names. So this one is slightly peachy. It's a little chalky, not much pigment, but I think you can use this also as a blush. It's not very pigmented, as you can see, and there's going to be a lot of fallout, I feel. The second shade is this brown color. So when I'm rubbing it onto my finger, the powder is getting deposited at the tip, and I think that is what is causing the chalkiness. So this is the second shade. See, I'm not very impressed with the swatches. This is a little more pigmented. It's dark, but I don't know how it's going to wear on the eyelid. So the powder is just like falling off when I'm trying to swatch them. So they're not highly pigmented, but yeah, you can hardly see the first shade. Second and third are still okay, and because those are darker shades. This is a black shade, I think all these shades are like that, where they look pretty pigmented but they're not translating that much onto the hand, although the darker shades you are still able to see. The next shade is a light brown, I think, and I doubt that I'll be able to see this. Yeah, you can't see much again. And this shade is a vibrant pink, and I think you'll be able to see this better. Yeah, this is a very dusty kind of a pink. So I'm hoping at least these darker shades will translate well onto the eyelid. I'm not very impressed with the swatches itself, but I would still like to see how it wears on the eyelid. I was actually hoping for a lot more from this eyeshadow palette, I think, and maybe that's why I'm disappointed. But let's just get into the eye look and see how that goes. So I'm first going to use this peachy shade right here, and I'm going to put that into my crease. There's a lot of kickback. That's actually not bad at all for a transition shade. I don't know if you can see the amount of powder that's getting out of the brush. That's actually a pretty good shade for transition, and it's also blending in really well. That is not bad. That is not bad. That's much better than what I had expected. Alright, so the peachy shade that did not translate well on the hand has actually proved to be a good transition shade. There's a lot of fallout on the palette itself, but I think once you kick off the excess, it's not falling under the eyes, so that's a good thing. So next I'm just going to use this darker shade, and I'm going to put that into the crease and outer corner, and I'm going to use the same brush. I just hope these darker shades don't have a lot of fallout either. I don't want to spoil my makeup. I'm testing out a foundation today, so wow, that is not at all bad. I was really not expecting this. When I swatched it, I was not at all impressed. But this is looking beautiful. It's blending beautifully. It's not giving a lot of trouble. Even though there's a lot of powder flying when I do this from the brush, there is nothing under my eye. So that's a great thing. Wow. I'm liking these two colors at least for now. So I've just zoomed you guys in so that you are able to see what I'm doing better. And you can also see how this is translating on my eye. And then I'm going to get into this deeper shade and I'm going to just deepen the outer corner and the crease a little bit more. And I'm going to use this precise fluffy brush to get into the crease a little better. I was really a little scared when there was so much of powder flying off from the brush. That's giving a little bit of trouble. So when I'm blending, it's settling into the folds of, and that should not happen. I'll just take a clean blending brush and just going to try and get that off. A little bit. Although the color is looking pretty, yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Alright, so that looks beautiful. The black did give a little bit of trouble on this eye. Let's try on this eye again. This eye is a little better. I'm just gonna make sure that this is blended well. I just want to use all the colors, so I'm just going to get into this lavender kind of a shade and I'm going to slightly apply it closer to the outer corner but not so much on the outside. I'm using the same pencil brush. And then using this lighter shade, I am just going to apply it on the inner 1/4 and I will use a flat eyeshadow brush for that. Even though the color is not showing up much, I think this is not a bad shade for the inner 1/4 of the eyelid. all this powder I think is getting into my throat. And then using the same brush with which I had applied the lavender, I'm just going to try and merge both these colors together. I haven't taken any additional color on the brush. Whatever is there on the brush, I'm just using that. And that's not bad at all. So that's blended in beautifully and that is looking also beautiful. And I'm thinking how to use this shade of pink. This is dusty kind of a pink. I don't want to use it on my lower lash line. I'll just try and use it here. Wow. This has blended in beautifully and it's really looking nice. I'm really impressed with these eyeshadows. I've used every single eyeshadow for the top lid and each and every shade is looking beautiful. Only 1 or 2 shades have given a slight trouble in blending in, but if I just take a clean blending brush and blend it out, and I think that has helped a lot. So on the lower lash line, I'm going ahead with the darkest color and I'm just going to use a thin pencil brush. I don't want a very thick line. You need to be careful of the powder that's coming out of this. And for the innermost corner, I'm just going to use this lighter shade and see how that looks. This color is actually very close to the skin tone, so you may not see much of a difference. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my highlighter that I've used today. So I've used this highlighter duo from Nykaa and I've used this shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that for the inner corner. And I'm going to take the same shade and just about right here. And the same thing on the other side. And I had also thought of using this eyeshadow palette to fill in my brows today. So I haven't done my brows yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now. I am going to use a combination of these two shades and I'm going to see how that goes. Although I don't know if that's a good idea right now because of the amount of powder that's coming out of this eyeshadow palette. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the darkest shade because that brown now seems to be too light. So I just thought if you don't want to carry a lot of products if you're traveling, and you could just, I think, use this for the brows. That is why I wanted to test this out for that as well, and I think it is working pretty well for the brows. Yeah, it is. The darkest shade is what I'm using right now, although I thought a combination of those two shades, but alright, so that did work well for my brows. So I'm just going to add some liner and some mascara and I will be right back. And I'm back, and I have to say that this palette has really impressed me, and I was really not expecting this result, especially after the swatches. So you can see the swatches, like you could hardly see 3 of these colors, and the way it has translated on my eyelids, I am really impressed. And this has also helped me fill in my brows today. I wanted to do that because, as I said, I wanted to see if somebody is traveling, if you don't want to carry 10 products for eyes, eyebrows and stuff, you can just like carry this and do your eyebrows and eyes both with this palette. And the brush obviously that comes with it is useless as always. This is not going to help you with anything, so forget the brush, get your own brushes. But the eyeshadows itself, I must say that this is a really good palette. Even if you're just starting off, or if you're looking for a different palette, you're looking for a palette which is not very expensive, just for a transition shade or just for a crease shade, this is definitely worth it, because there are a lot of companies or brands where their only one shade of eyeshadow might cost you about 200 rupees. So you're getting an entire palette and you can do different things because there are different kinds of shades in it. This is number 5. There must be other palettes because this is their 5th in line, I think. So there must be at least 5 palettes that they have. So you can choose the color combination that works for you the best. But I'm really impressed with the matte eyeshadows that blueheaven has come up with, and I would definitely recommend it for the price point, for the way it has applied on my eyes, and I don't see this going anywhere. Normally my eyeshadows, they stay on my eyelids for the entire day once applied, unless you try to remove it or you rub your eyes or something. But on my eyelids, I have seen that the eyeshadows do remain. So that is something that even if I test it out, it might not be of a big help because my eyeshadows normally never move. So that's it for today's video. I hope you really liked this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon, and do let me know if you have tried any of these palettes from blueheaven and what has been your experience. Do let me know in the comment section below. And I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you again very soon in another cruelty free video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.